Hello, everyone. So this week you guys are getting a pre-recorded video that was the follow-up for the vegan teacher. Because I had already recorded it and I thought I had an extra day, but it turns out that I didn't. And so it's just extra and left over. So I'm going to put that up. But I also wanted to have like something a little bit extra. And this was too timely to not talk about this week. And it's FatCon. Yes, FatCon. And it is happening January 5th through the 7th of 2024 this year at the Hyatt at Olive 8 in downtown Seattle. So we're going to just kind of take a look through the website and just see what's going on at FatCon in Seattle this weekend. So come enjoy the biggest fat celebration of the year. Weird to say at the very beginning of the year, but okay. With over 30 hours of programming, amazing keynote speakers, a fashion show, and a vendor's hall, all geared towards generating fat joy and informing the fat experience. It's going to be the convention you've always wanted to attend. And then it looks like there's like different levels of tickets. So you have Fat Friend, Plump Patron, Fat Bae, and Fat Royalty. And just so everyone knows, I found this out through a fat acceptance compilation. That featured the woman that had the same issue with the airline seats. I want to say her name was J-Bay. But anyway, so Fat Friend gets you a full event pass, brunch on Sunday, access to the vendors hall, and 30 plus workshop panels, fashion shows, and more. Plump Patron gets all of that, plus priority registration, badge ribbon, access to hospitality suite. Okay, the hospitality suite. Okay. And then your purchase of this badge for a Plump Stranger Fat Friend ticket. So then, like, you also get a Fat Friend ticket for a friend. Maybe. Fat Bae gets not only the priority registration and all the stuff from the Fat Friend, but priority seating for opening keynote and closing keynote and the fashion show. You get a FatCon t-shirt, a VIP goodie bag, and a discount code to Fatlesk Fest Northwest, which is something else we're just going to have to check out maybe next week because now I'm curious. And then Fat Royalty, which gets you everything from Fat Bae, plus a hotel room in main venue Thursday through Sunday. Oh, wow. That's got to be expensive. Custom badge design by the art of Lori Collins, and access to the hospitality suite. So it says their mission is to improve the lives of fat humans through art, health, public policy, and community outreach by improving visibility and uplifting the voices of people of size. We don't seek acceptance, we seek fat liberation. It says all types are welcome here. These look like sponsors, but it says all types are welcome here. So I'm curious. If a really skinny person signed up and paid and got in, how would they be treated? I'm curious. Just curious. So, and then Nina Lewis Party, Silk Arts, The Art of Pleasure, all right? And there's apparently our big fat newsletter, which I'm curious to maybe sign up for just for the sake of it. Big Fig, the mattress for the bigger figure. And then I want seconds, plus size, resale, and more. Okay? So let's go up and take a look at attend. So attend a FatCon. We get a list of all of the benefits that you get. So let's say snag your ticket. I want to know how much this is. So we have date and times. We already looked at the mission, but our event, join us for the biggest fat celebration of the year. Okay, no, wait. I think we already covered that. All right. Oh my God, how many windows do I have to go through just to figure out how much this? $250 for the lowest price. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, and it's no longer, it's sold out. Wait. Oh my God. All level, no, wait. Okay, so Fat Friend, no longer available. Plump Patron, no longer available. Fat Bae VIP, there's 16 tickets left, but it says no longer available. Probably because it's like the pre-registration time is up. So there were 16 tickets left at the $600 level, which was Fat Bay. And then there was a day pass just for Friday, which is no longer available, a day pass for Saturday, which is no longer available, and a day pass for Sunday brunch and the fashion show only, which was the cheapest ticket at $109, which is no longer available, and then volunteer registration. Volunteer sign up here. Don't spend $50K for this ticket. Use your code, friends. I don't know what that means. And it looks like the Fat Royalty one is gone, so I'm guessing that's... I can't tell how many of those were actually sold out and how many, like, they just aren't accepting pre-registration anymore. So this is the Hyatt at Olive 8, which I guess would have, like, so it's clearly a hotel convention, which isn't a bad thing. I want to be clear, that's, like, not a bad thing. There's plenty of really great conventions. I remember conventions when I was younger where it was strictly at, like, the base floor of the hotel. It was only, like, 3 or 4 rooms, and it was really fun. I would not have paid $250 to get in, or over $150 for a day pass to get into one of those conventions. But I mean, if you're really into being fat, maybe it's worth it to you. The convention hotel will house workshops, fashion shows, panels, and more. To snag a room, you can either get your pass at the Fat Royalty tier, or you can use the hotel discount code GPUCK. This code is live now, works both online and over the phone, and expires on December 21st. So I think maybe they're just not taking the pre-registration anymore. Airport information. The closest airport to the convention hotel is Seattle Tacoma International Airport, approximately 15 miles away. And then the sponsors again. Okay, so we've seen how much it is. Let's take a look at the keynote and special guests. So, Alada Boutte, Tigris Osborne, Dr. Bianca Loreno, and then legendary guest, Madam E. Invited guest, Angelina Moles, who looks familiar. I feel like I've seen her on TikTok, but Saucy West and world famous Bob don't look familiar to me at all. And Big Burr, I have no idea who he is. So, Alada Boutte. Hailing from the Bay Area, this international cabaret and burlesque Bay sensation was raised by the South, dressed by drag queens, and cut her teeth in San Francisco's beautiful smoky underbelly. Classically trained yet forged in nightclubs, this queen brings the drama and vocals that will make you bow down. The sinfully saccharine siren of San Francisco is Alada Boutte. Miss Boutte may have discovered burlesque in the back of a magazine, but she is a dance and theater kid at the core. From tap dance to piano to a cappella choir to plays and musicals, treading the boards has always been home for Ms. Boutte. She even accompanied herself as part of a pre-show for the Mugler Follies in Paris. I have no idea what that is. I'm sorry, I'm uncultured, but I don't know what that is. She has shared the stage with the likes of Joey Arias, Taylor Mack, and Margaret Cho, as well as performed at the Goat Farm, the original home of the Burlesque Hall of Fame Museum in Helendale, California. She was a core member of the legendary all-black neo-burlesque troupe Harlem Shake Burlesque, founded by Simone De La Ghetto. Ms. Boutte has graced a multitude of stages, including her 11 years as an understudy for Beach Blanket Babylon and 2 years she spent in Paris, France at the Chanteuse in Mugler Follies by Manfred Thierry Mugler. In 2022, Ms. Boutte received a Sassy Lassie Award from the Burlesque Hall of Fame in special recognition of her significant impact in the promotion and perpetuation of burlesque. She was also featured in Leonard Nimoy's The Full Body Project in 2007. This project presented images of full-body women, many of whom were and still are engaged in fat liberation and the size acceptance movement. and challenge dominant notions of ideal female figure as represented in media and fine arts. So, I mean, I understand that she's bigger, but she does, just from this, you can see the hourglass shape. So, like, it's not really challenging the ideal female figure too much. I mean, yes, she is bigger, but she has boobs, she has a butt, and she has a waist. So, I mean, that's kind of the hallmark of the female figure. I mean, granted, it's typically much slimmer, but she still features like, I don't know, it's different than how I would say she's challenging the ideal female figure to me. Tigris Osborne. Tigris Osborne, she, her, is a fat activist advocate and executive director of the National Association to Advance Fat Acceptance, the world's oldest documented organization working towards equity at every size. She is a co-founding leader for the Campaign for Size Freedom, which supports passing legislation to outlaw size discrimination. Tigris is a two-time women's college graduate with degrees in Africana Studies and English. She is an intersectional feminist teacher and writer whose professional background as a youth empowerment leader and DEI educator has informed her fat liberation activism since 2008. She has been featured in USA Today, Newsweek, and the cover of Smith College Alumni Quarterly. Heard on BBC Antisocial, Burnt Toast, and NPR, and seen on ABC News, News Station, and Free Speech TV's Feminism Today. Follow Tigris. Okay, so one thing that caught my attention is that it says intersectional feminist teacher, which is fine, but one, it says teacher, not professor, which to me suggests that she's not doing this at like the college level. So this, I was an English major myself, so I know how things are kind of slanted, how things can be like slanted to make it seem. But it says that she's a teacher, but it doesn't say where she teaches. It says intersectional feminist teacher, which allows you to kind of think that maybe she teaches like something from the intersectional feminist perspective. But that's not exactly what it's saying. It's saying that she is an intersectional feminist teacher. Actually, there's no comma there. So, yeah, an intersectional feminist teacher, but it doesn't say to what capacity. She could just be doing some free programs at the library and still call herself a teacher, because there's not, in the colloquial sense of the term, I mean, to be like a legit K-12 teacher or a college professor, you have to have certain qualifications. And now that I think about it, it says two-time women's college graduate with degrees in Africana Studies and English, which suggests that they're probably both bachelor's degrees. I'm wondering if she double majored, because English is a really easy major to double major in if you want to. It's not easy because I wanted to have the freedom for my electives, but if you want to focus all of your electives on one thing, it's fairly easy to double major in. Something else that has like a low threshold of what you need to complete. English allows for a lot of options if you want to explore other fields of study, because the requirements for the degree kind of across the board aren't as limited as they are with other majors. So I think that that's interesting. The feminist teacher, it doesn't say where she's teaching, which leads me to think that perhaps it's like small workshops. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but also the writer. And then it talks about her professional background, but it says she's a writer, but it doesn't list what she's written, which to me would suggest that it was like a column or something small in maybe a magazine or a paper. They don't list anything, which suggests to me that it might even just be her personal blog. You can write a personal blog and call yourself a writer. Like, it's something I've noticed. Perhaps I'm being entirely too nitpicky, which is completely reasonable. I just thought it was worth mentioning. Dr. Bianca Laureano, PhD, MA2, CSE, CSES, is an award-winning educator, curriculum writer, and sexologist. She is a co-foundress of the Women of Color Sexual Health Network in Antioch, a virtual freedom school. She has written curricula and led the curriculum development for the award-winning Netflix film Crip Camp and PBS documentary I Didn't See You There, both guided by disability and justice principles. So that's interesting because this is the way this is framed up here. Award-winning educator, curriculum writer, and sexologist would suggest to me that these three, like the sexologist kind of goes into curriculum and curriculum writer. And that's not to say that it couldn't necessarily, but it seems like the bigger focus was on disability justice in terms of curriculum writing, which to me would kind of go in hand with some of the equity education that we have for the kids, meaning that you can write a curriculum for it, but it's not. Curriculum sounds much bigger than it is. You can have a curriculum that is simply one unit. And I don't say, and I want to be clear, I'm not saying this to put these women down. I want to be clear with that. I just want to say that sometimes things are written in a way that sound far bigger in scope than they actually are. And I actually don't know to what extent or what scope she's written these things. And it's still impressive regardless. Writing curriculum is difficult. But I'm just curious. Okay. She is an AASECT certified sexuality educator, so she is a sexuality educator as well, and supervisor, and was awarded an honorary doctorate from California Institute of Integral Studies for her work in expanding the U.S. sexuality field. Wait, an honorary doctorate. An honorary, does that tie into the PhD, or was the PhD, like, typically honorary doctorates aren't the same as, I'm just wondering because I had a family member in my life who I've like cut off that would say that they accomplished things that would kind of mislead people. This honorary doctorate, don't get me wrong, impressive that you got an honorary doctorate. That's a big thing. But it's not quite the same thing as working for your PhD. So I'm just wondering if the PhD is the same as the honorary doctorate, or if you had your own PhD and then also got an honorary doctorate. I'm just curious. She is the editor of the People's Book of Human Sexuality, expanding the sexology archive. Find out more about Bianca. So, interesting. Madam E started dancing in 1970 in Honolulu as Pearl Divine. Pearl Divine sounds familiar. The Titless Wonder, given her tagline by her tattoo artist at the time, Sailor Jerry. She then traveled to Guam and throughout the Pacific, following the troops on R&R during Vietnam, after birthing 2 babies to her serial killer husband. True story. She relocated to LA, working the local strip club circuit to pay her way through college and a journalism degree. She snagged a career gig working private parties for rock bands and celebrities like Rod Stewart, Led Zeppelin, Billy Idol, David Lee Roth, Jack Nicholson, Mickey Rourke, Robert Blake, and Pee Wee Herman. She returned to the burlesque stage in early 2000s in San Francisco under her dominatrix name, Madam E, and was soon welcomed into the Burlesque Hall of Fame by Dixie Evans. Today, she is a staunch advocate for plus-size performers and continues to flaunt her fat on stage across the country and teaches plus-size seduction classes during her travels as well. All right, then. Angelina Moles, who I was most interested in. Angelina Moles is a fat liberationist on a mission to give visibility to fatness and make fat folks feel held. With a Master of Arts in Communication Studies with an emphasis on fat studies, Angelina makes their lived experience with research, knowledge, and theory. Taking up space in full color, their activism is fueled through art, event organizing, and modeling. Creator of the Fierce Fat Flea Market, a plus-size makers market and clothing swap, Full Fat, a virtual support group for fat folks, and co-creator of Big Fat Pool Parties. Angelina actively creates spaces for all fat bodies. Angelina is not a palatable fatty and seeks to confront anti-fatness head on through education, abortion, and liberation. Wait, what? How do you confront anti-fatness with abortion? How do you confront anti-fatness through abortion? Like the liberation thing and the education thing I get, but abortion. Is that a typo? Am I just stupid? Can you guys clear this up for how do you confront anti-fatness through abortion? Do you That sounds really weird. I don't like that. If you see glitter, neon, pattern mixing, and you hear the sound of boisterous cackling, likely you're about to cross paths with fierce fat femme Angelina Moles. So my only Okay, now I had to read the. I'm like, what was the point of mentioning the Masters in Arts? But she had an emphasis on fat studies, so that makes sense. I still don't understand the confronting at anti-fatness head on through abortion. That doesn't make sense to me. Saucy West. Saucy West is a plus size model, fat fashion influencer, and fat activist. She does consulting and marketing for plus size brands who are interested in expanding their sizes beyond 5X. Beyond 5X, okay. Saucy has been in the fashion industry for over 10 years and has both runway and print experience and is the largest doing both at a size 30. She is the first 400-pound runway model. Okay. Self-proclaimed largest runway model. Okay. Saucy also started the hashtag and movement for Fat and Free in 2017, challenging people to live and love their fat bodies without apology. With the campaign, she created safe spaces and events for fat folks in the Bay Area. She also started a campaign and boycott with the hashtag Fight for Inclusivity, which is challenging the plus industry to make clothing beyond 4X. With that campaign, some brands in the plus size market actively began to strive for more inclusion by hiring larger models as well as using more models of color and reworking their size charts, which was a big win for the movement. Saucy is also a speaker that has discussed fat activism at the University of Georgia. She has contributed to books like The Other F Word and has done many conferences and seminars teaching people how to love themselves. Saucy is currently working on a podcast as well as body image coaching. All right, I'm curious. Might have to check her out later to see her podcast. World famous Bob. The world famous Bob, known for her over the top blonde bombshell image and incredible ability to mix martinis in her cleavage, has captivated audiences all over the world with her unique burlesque stylings, humorous performance art, and MC skills. They have been photographed by hundreds of photographers, including Patrick McMullen, Mario Testino, and David LaChapelle. Bob appears in several books, including Hotel La Chapelle, New York Burlesque Striptease, From Gaslight to Spotlight, Burlesque, The New Bump and Grind, The Brooklyn Knights, The Velvet Hammer Burlesque, The Domestic Burlesque, Legends of Burlesque, as well as The Burlesque Handbook and more. A collection of photos by Amy Touchette? No, it's not Touchette, it's Touchette, right? Was published by Something Press. These fucking names, I swear to God. Something Press, entitled Shoot the Arrow, A Portrait of the World Famous Bob. Believing that television is the theater for the poor, Bob is a huge fan of the boob tube and has appeared in A&E's The History of Cleavage as well as HBO's Real Sex. He has graced the pages of over 50 national and international publications, including the New York Times. The big screen suits Bob as well, with screen credits including John Cameron Mitchell's film Short Bus and Beth B's Exposed. World famous Bob for 12 years was regularly scheduled guest speaker at NYU and has performed and appeared at over 20 U.S. universities, including Harvard, Yale, and Bard. She has performed all over the world and co-created and starred in Young Jean Lee's untitled feminist show from NYC's Dance. Theater workshop to Taylor Mack's The Lily's Revenge to Stockholm Sodra T-Turn, world famous Bob has brought crowds together by pointing out that what we all have in common, the need for love and creating that with her art in the movement. Bob continues their life in the spotlight and is also an ultimate self-confidence coach for people worldwide, as well as newly appointed activities and program specialists of Rainbow Connection ATX, an intergenerational queer nonprofit that help queerate the proud mother of the House of Famous, where the motto is nice is the new fierce. Bob lives in their Pink Poodle Palace in ATX with her Wigs, Husbear, Poodle's Biscuit, and Daphne, and Kitty Monkey. All right. And then finally, I think this is the last one. Yeah, Big Burr. From being born in prison and bouncing around different foster homes to performing at the Moda Center in front of 20,000 people, Roulette Delgado, aka Big Burr, is changing the Portland music scene with his body-affirming, pride-presenting, heavy concept hitting music. A reality TV star on Zeus Network, rapper, singer, dancer, songwriter, and plus-size model, born and raised in Portland, Oregon, he is best known for crystal clear, paid, sped, vocal ability and witty metaphoric flow. I think it's just supposed to be vocal ability. Maybe? No, I gotta look that up because I can't tell if that's just a word I don't know or if it's a misspelling. It is 100% a misspelling. Okay. I didn't realize how long the sentence was. I'm trying to find the beginning of it. Okay. A reality TV star on Zeus Network, rapper, singer, dancer, songwriter, and plus-size model, born and raised in Portland, Oregon. He is best in... Oh, yeah, there's a couple of different spelling mistakes. Okay, best known for crystal clear, paid... I'm thinking maybe that's speed vocal ability. I don't know for sure. And witty metaphoric flow, as well as his unique singing voice, all layered over arena-smacking instrumentals. From hip-hop to R&B and anything else in between, his style and finesse, I think that's supposed to be finesse, is unmatched. He has been doing music for 24 years and counting, as has a multitude of live performance under his belt. Someone needed to proofread that for the poor guy. That wasn't nice. That wasn't fair. All right, let's take a look at the programming schedule. Friday, make fat friends. Building your fat positive birth team. Okay. Under Our Skin, breaking shame and building community through creativity. Burlesque Silk Veil. Praise be to God, I'm thin, silence, morality, fatness, and Christianity. Okay, I want to just take a quick read of the blurb on this one. The lives of fat people, especially fat women, are silenced. Our stories, our histories, and our very lives are silenced. But how is this accomplished? Who accomplishes this silence? This panel will be an in-depth exploration of how silence is a beneficial category for understanding, on a community and individual level, the experiences of fatness. In particular, this panel will focus on understanding the moralizing of fatness through American Christian religious rhetoric and philosophy via the Christian diet industry, common dieting tools such as before and after photos, and the religious nature of healthism. If you have ever had questions about the connection between morality, fatness, healthism, and or American Christianity, then this panel will be of interest to you. The panel will offer a presentation and space for reflection on the topic. And then trigger warnings are before and after photos, diet culture, religion, and fat phobia. I'm actually don't get me wrong, I'm not about to pay, $169 to attend. But I'm kind of curious of their line of reasoning on this one. Rhythm with Rula, Fat Liberation 101. So you have heard the words fat liberation, and you are here at FatCon looking for more information. That's the first step. But what does it really mean to be part of the fat liberation movement? What do you need to know? How do you get involved? What pitfalls can you avoid? Let's talk fat lib with people doing the work right now. Curious about that one too. Activewear is not enough. We need sports gear. Fat More fats, more femme, body confidence in the bedroom, self-love chair yoga, trans and fat moving through a world not made for you, nights of the fat round table. Fat community is everything sex toys, and liberation for rad fatties. Take up space with Sammy St. James, dance and movement for everybody. Musical comedy break with Grief Cat. That was all Fridays. Saturday includes Fat or Swollen, your self-care guide. Erotic embodiment of powerful sex, rope bondage, taking poison out of polish in burlesque, healing body trauma through community and fat joy, feeling our fat, being fat in entertainment, a moderated discussion, protecting your peace, how to advocate for yourself and care for your mental health, drawing fat bodies, words I don't know how to pronounce. Roundtable, how can we make sports more inclusive? The roundtable discussion will create a space to discuss the barriers we've experienced in participating in sports, especially physical barriers like adequate safety gear. We will discuss what we are doing and come up with ideas on what we can do to push for more inclusive athletic spaces. This is another one that I kind of wish I could be a fly on the wall and hear what they're saying. Lose the weight of fat hate. Fat in the Wild, Adventures in the Outdoors, Fat, Femme, and Fucked, pleasure-focused sex for women in larger bodies, finding joy in movement for anybody, Ask a Doctor, navigating healthcare while fat, We Burlesque podcast, live with Victor Devon, A Tale of Two FatCons, the peaks and pitfalls of creating your own fat liberation event, Defying Gravity with Rope Bondage, Navigating Mental Health Care and Fat Phobia, Coming Out as Fat. Sorry, it's giving me the coming out as vegan vibes from that vegan teacher. You're not a skinny person trapped in a fat person's body who just needs to find the right diet. You're fat and you deserve to love every inch of your body and take up space doing what you love. Lindsay Johnson, aka Fantastical Fatty, is a fat joy activist who began their fat liberation journey in 2019 after decades of weight cycling to the point of obsession. When Lindsay finally let go of the pursuit of thinness and made peace with being fat, it was now so obvious how we've all been taught our entire lives that being fat is bad. Spoiler alert. That means we can also train our minds to see our bodies as powerful, beautiful, and strong exactly as they are now. Lindsay's invitation to reframe the way you view your body as powerful, strong, and worthy will help you come out as fat so you can ditch any lingering obsessions with thinness and finally live your best fat joy life. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about the phrasing of this. Meditation break, and then Sunday fresh program. So they haven't even nailed down Sunday from the sounds of it. Oh my goodness. I guess that's when the fat fashion show is, though, yeah? Fat Babes Marketplace. Let's take a look. So, different. So, I'm seeing listings for 7 brands. So, their vendors hall is probably going to be fairly small. I expected that, though. Experiences. Photo shoot with Shug McD. 2 big blonde shuttles. Oh, that's consignment. That's plus size consignment. Okay, partners in print, poster making, and then shuttle 1. Okay. Let's take a look at their FAQs. What is FatCon? FatCon is a 3-day convention based in Seattle, Washington, featuring 30 workshops, panels, fashion shows, and size-inclusive vendors and more. How big is FatCon? It's a 500-person event, including attendees, vendors, volunteers, and staff, so it's fairly small. Who are the organizers? FatCon is produced by Puckduction, an arts and culture organization led by Mix Pucks Aplenty and team of 5 additional directors. You can learn more about the directors here. I'm not looking there. Okay, when is FatCon? Which we know. What are the hours? Those are the hours. Okay, what is a Fat Babe Marketplace? This is a vendor hall for FatCon featuring 20 plus vendors. Oh, okay, 20 plus vendors from all over the country that have been selected due to inclusivity of products. they are providing to our attendees. Where can I purchase? Okay, who needs a badge? All attendees need badges for FatCon. The event is 21 plus, which makes sense given all of the bondage and bedroom stuff. How much do badges cost? Prices for FatCon badges start at $250 for the full 3 days. We saw that. Do I need an AN access needs sticker? By visiting our concierge desk when checking in at registration, AN stickers are provided to individuals who may have mobility, physical, vision, hearing, cognitive, psychological, or any other type of disabilities that may not be visible. An AN sticker identifies you to staff, crew, and security and indicates that you may need additional support during FatCon. What about merchandise I purchased with my badge registration? Receive any prepaid merchandise. Okay, and then a refund policy. And then let's take a look at about us. So we have our team, hold harmless agreement, anti-discrimination policy, accessibility policy, and COVID-19 policy. So this is Mix Pucks Aplenty, which is the con director, Lori Collins, which is programming director, Candace Frank, marketing director. I don't really want to read their blurbs. Cassandra Moselle, Ophelia Dagger, Stormy Chance. So Cassandra Moselle is facilities director. Ophelia Dagger is operations director, and Stormy Chance is relations director. There's contact information, which we're not going to look at, and sponsors, which we're not going to look at. So that's FatCon, you guys. This video went on longer than I expected. I hope this was kind of an interesting look for you guys. I certainly won't be attending, but I will admit that there's some programming that I'm curious about. So I'm curious to see if any of the discussions around it end up online, because I'll be interested to hear that. But I wanted to give you guys a peek at this since it's happening soon. And I'm very curious of your opinions on this whole idea. So thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.